Hello everyone, this is Mark Gonzalez, also known as DJ Gonzo at Instep Entertainment. You can find me at instepdj.com. That's INSTEPDJ.com. I had some recent questions come up about what I use as my systems for streaming live and also for what I use for doing some voiceovers. I'm certainly not the pro on voiceovers. I do just dry voiceovers for the most part. I don't do a lot of production into it. But, you know, I help people out from that time to time, and I do a few of them for myself. So, anyhow, what I do use here for voiceovers, you can see I have the Bluebird here. This condenser mic works really neat. I do recommend you all looking into that if you're interested in picking up a microphone for doing just that, voiceovers, recording things in your studio. I also use a PreSonus Audio Box 22 VSL for hooking the mic into and getting that sound into my software. As far as the software that I do use, right now I have Ableton Live up right now, but I use Studio One. I use Studio One Artist for putting my voiceovers into and then getting them out. So I use them, put them in WAV form or other lossless file format. Now Ableton Live, I'm using that for making my own beats, just toying around in here, doing some mashups and stuff like that, some remixes. For another neat item here is Launchpad. This is by Novation here, and I use that with Ableton Live. Also with Serato Scratch Live, I do some recordings with into Ableton Live. It's really neat. You guys got to check that out. It's really neat the way they do what's called the bridge. So anyhow, there we go. There's Ableton Live. We talked about the Studio One software for some of the voiceovers that I do use. And then right in here, basically the headphones obviously for monitoring what I'm saying and listening to it without any other noises from the outside. I've got quite a bit that I back up on different external hard drives. And as far as monitoring sound, I use these KRK Rocket 6s. I purchased these about 2 years ago. Fantastic speakers. So I've now become a fan of KRK ever since getting turned on to them and using them in my own productions here. So there we go. Now moving on to streaming live. I do use the techniques here that I like to keep in here in the studio. I rarely will take these out for any shows. I just get worried about them bouncing around and getting ruined. So I just like to keep them down here. And also I use a Rane TTM57SL mixer with that, has Serato Scratch Live into it because I'm a big fan of that as well. So that is what I use combined right here with the turntables and the mixer. You can see that my turntables are customized as well. And it really sets it off. What I want to do on the platters too is get that white pearl color on there too. So that's something I'll be doing later on in the future. Like I said, Serato Scratch Live, I use that there for my mixing software. Speaking on the microphone, I use another mic right here that's wired in, and no problems there. So when I'm doing some video mixing too, I will have this screen here set up, and I'll monitor the video that I'm pushing out, and then just push it onto my streaming software. So there is a setup right here. Let's move into the software that I do use for streaming. I use Wirecast. Wirecast is a really powerful program for streaming. If you're interested in doing, streaming on a, on a large scale, or you're going to do it quite often, look into Wirecast. Really neat program. You can set up different scenes or different layers, and it's just it's fantastic. I mean, there's so much more that I can do with the software than what I'm doing. I'm just not taking full advantage of it, but that is what I use. So I use Wirecast for my streaming. and I do recommend it. So anyhow, there we go. There's what I use for my recordings, things like that in here. The streaming side of the house over here, and it all works out real good for me. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Give me a call or send me an email, a text. Hey, one thing that I didn't cover though, right over here is a Logitech Broadcaster Wi-Fi webcam. Very neat camera, webcam. The nice thing that I like about this is that it's wireless. You don't need to be plugged in at all. Right now it's plugged in just for charging of the battery. I like to keep the battery or batteries charged up in that camera. But certainly you don't have to be wired in at all other than charging your battery. So I can take this around where I want to. If I'm at an event, I'm doing a wedding or something like that, and they say, hey, listen, we'd love to stream it. Hey, I can stream right there at the show, and I can just take that with me and move it around where I like. I haven't really experienced with the time of the battery charge, so that's something to look into. I just haven't. I'm really terrible at reading instructions, so you may find something there on their website on the frequently asked questions or what have you. So there we go. Overhead shot for my web, I use that. Another Logitech camera. Because I'll use two cameras, one shooting from the top of me as I'm right here. It'll just shoot right down and capturing what I do there. And this is capturing the side shot. All right, everybody. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Give me a call. Send me an email. Do what you got to do to get in touch with me. And I respond back because I like to help others out just because I ask plenty of questions amongst my peers. So you all enjoy. And as I keep saying, keep them spinning.